There's one thing I know. If you find the right processes to run in your heating and air conditioning business early on before you have a big team, it is so much easier to scale the business. It's so much easier to, tweak those processes that you already know work as the business grows versus growing the business, just running it by the seat of your pants, getting to a certain level, and then finding out that what you're doing is not going to take you to the next level. And then when you learn that you've got to implement and change a few things, people typically resist change. So there's different ways that we have to, implement new strategies and stuff and present them to our team in order to get them to have any buy-in or to actually do what we're asking them to do. Even though a rising tide raises all ships, it's good for everybody. If we just will adopt this new process, it can be difficult to implement. And I made this mistake. I grew a company to, over a dozen people, and then started learning like we weren't going any further in our business growth or our business journey if we didn't change the way we were doing some things. So when I started implementing new things, then I started getting resistance and pushback from people. And that's really common because what we've been doing, got us this far, but the reality is it's not going to get us any further. So the earlier you can implement and learn how to actually run a business, and the faster you get your numbers in order so you can start looking at those profit and loss statements and finding out where you're at and making little adjustments, trying to reduce some of those expenses and increase some of the income and make all these little adjustments and tweaks so that you can be more profitable and have the money to actually fuel your growth that you always envisioned or you always thought you would get to, then it's going to be an easier process. Just know it's a lot easier to do it now than it is to do once you've already built something that just will only get you so far. So I hope that maybe you've come to a realization where you do need that. I hope that you're not in a pit of pain, as I call it. I found myself this time of year many times in a pit of pain because we have to understand that the business is seasonal. I mean, there's things you can do and implement to help smooth out some of those seasons, but it is seasonal. Like if it's 65 degrees outside or 75 degrees outside, it doesn't matter how much you spend on ads. People just aren't searching for your service during that time. Doesn't matter what advertising you use. If people don't need it, it's not top of mind. They're not thinking about it. So it's not that we can just fill in the gaps by doing marketing. It's not that some marketing campaigns won't work and get some people to say yes, but we have to accept the fact that it is a seasonal business. So in order to overcome these seasons, we really have to do well during the summer. And I know that some of the greatest companies out there, they put everything towards the summer. They make sure that they're going to maximize the summer to its full capacity. And that way, they have enough money in the bank when the summer is over to just coast through the seasons. It's not a big deal. But if we don't maximize the summer, then what we find every single year, like if you've ever found yourself where, oh man, you feel like on top of the world by the end of August, you've got the bank accounts full, or it's looking healthy at least, everything seems to be going good, and it pretty much hangs on throughout the end of the year, and then come the end of February, March, and then part of April, while we're waiting for the season to change, waiting for air conditioners to break down, you find yourself in this pit of pain where the phones just stop and there's just not much going on, and you're doing everything you can to try to get through it. It becomes depressing, to be honest, like really depressing. And it's tough to get through. I found myself in that position many, many times, and it's not fun. And it's not for the lighthearted. And that's why on the other side of it, I've known HVAC business owners who every single year, this time of year, they take out a big loan on like a line of credit of some kind, just to get them through this season, because they know once summer hits, that's when they make all their money. And I hope that that's not you, but also, I mean, if it's working for you, cool. I mean, for some people that might work, but for others, they're going to try to do as much as they can during the summer to help them through this season. So I hope that you're prepared for this summer. If you're not, then reach out to me, and I'm going to leave a link in the description below. You're welcome to book a call with me, and let's have a quick strategy session, maybe 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes, find out where you're at. Be happy to give you some pointers. And on top of that, if you're interested in joining our coaching program, could be an opportunity for you. There's still time right now to fix some things that might be broken or maybe could be tweaked so that you get more from what you're currently doing. And if we can do that, that means we're going to have a more prosperous summer, even more than you had last year or the year before that. So if we can have a prosperous summer, it makes these slower times a lot easier to cope with. So I hope if that's something that intrigues you or interests you, then book a call with me and we'll go from there. So go make money. Boom. Hang in there. If you're struggling, hang in there. You got this.